How's it going, everyone, and welcome to Friday episode of Everything But the News. We got an old crew back here from Out of Bounds. If you're an OG fan, Reese is out today, so we'll have Jadon step in. We really appreciate.
Good replacement.
So we'll talk about my player of the week. Then we'll go and give our sports talk, basically a throwback to the old Out of Bounds show. We'll have another friend from marketing come in and talk to us about their cereal box. And we'll have some music from Aiden, and then we're just going to talk about what we're going to do over the weekend, and we're going to close out with a nice, relaxing show. So without further ado, let's cut to my segment, my player of the week. How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Athlete of the Week. In this segment, we will be looking at the athlete who shined the brightest over the past week. This could be in baseball, hockey, football, or basketball. Without further ado, let's get started with our second athlete of the week, Patrick Mahomes. This Sunday, Mahomes and the Chiefs competed in Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. It was an amazing game that went to overtime. Both teams got their chances to ice the game and score, but the Niners only got a field goal while the Chiefs scored a touchdown to win it. Based on the new overtime rules implemented into the NFL rules very recently, this allowed the Chiefs to get the win. Mahomes threw for 333 passing yards while rushing for 66 yards and throwing 2 touchdowns. To top it all off, Mahomes also won the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick's career is still at its very early stage, and he is already making a Hall of Fame resume for himself. Speaking of which, Patrick Mahomes has won 3 Super Bowls. This is more than most quarterbacks have in their entire career, and he has only been in the NFL for 7 years. He still has a long way to go to meet Tom Brady as the best of all time, but he is definitely on pace to catch up or maybe even surpass him. That'll do it for the second episode of Athlete of the Week. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll catch you next time. Have a great day.
Hey, my friend's a little hungry.
I can help you with that.
Welcome back, guys. How do you guys feel about that? You think Mahomes is going to catch up with Brady?
I hope not.
Well,
but
so far he has a great start.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly,
that's true. One of the best.
He's only been in the league for, I think it's 7 years, and he's still made a Hall. Like, if he retired now, you could
Only
Hall of
6
Famer.
years starting too, because his first season he didn't play at all.
Yeah,
And
it's
every year he started, he's been in the AFC Championship at least, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it's difficult to like somebody that wins so much, like especially like with the Warriors too back in the day. Like everyone just hated him.
Like
I'm kind of like in that crew.
We kind of took Brady for granted, honestly.
Yeah.
Like watching greatness, and now we're watching like I think the only quarterback Mahomes has lost to in the Super Bowl, isn't it Brady? Maybe
I think it was Brady. Yeah, 21. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
he lost
sure.
to Brady in the playoffs, remember, against the Patriots.
Yeah. Well,
that makes sense.
That's what Brady has on Mahomes forever.
Yeah. Not to be biased, but I think that was a good video. But let's check out Mark, Caden, and Anthony's state project coming up next.
As we conclude the 2023-2024 NFL season, everybody looks forward to the NFL draft coming up on April 25th. The top 10 draft will have mostly offensive prospects, with Chicago Bears having the first pick. It's likely that they'll pick up number 2 prospect, Caleb Williams.
Well, in my opinion, Caleb Williams is the number 1 quarterback on the PC3 media draft board. He can make plays out of structure. He can make plays on the run. He's made plays just like Patrick Mahomes has. And that's my special ability with Caleb Williams. I think he has that special ability to make his own plays, and he has a strong arm. And he's won the Heisman, so he's had the greatest achievements I think he's the number one quarterback that any team should want on their team.
Back to Caleb Williams, our first prospect. I think he really fits. He fits on any team in the NFL actually, but I think because of his high scoring and just how dynamic he is, he could really just he would be a good fit on the Bears, but I don't know if the Bears actually need him. If the Bears would be a good since they already have
and
a
he's
quarterback.
got a pretty good size for his running game too.
Yes.
So
He's very mobile too. He is mobile. He's not someone that just sits in the pocket. He can move around.
and that brings us to our number 2. Caden, who's our number 2?
Our number 2 is Drake May.
Drake May.
Coming out of North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. Anthony's team, Anthony's NFL team.
Yeah.
Um,
With Drake May, he's had just as stats wise as Caleb Williams. They've been 1A and 1B this whole time. Yeah. It's really going to be interesting to see which one separates each other. Maybe if we look at their combine, see how their combine goes, their pro days, to see them actually throwing.
Yeah.
And showing off their abilities. How do you feel, Mark?
Drake May also is compared a lot to Josh Allen.
Yes.
Based off his size and just his play style.
Yeah.
And seeing him play, I think he'd be a good fit in Washington because they really do need a quarterback there. They've always been a solid team, but they just lack QBs, and I feel like Drake May would be a perfect fit in Washington.
Oh yeah, he's done some crazy things too. I've seen him throw a touchdown with his left hand when he's right-handed. He just does crazy stuff like that, and he was not afraid to take a hit.
No,
just like Josh Allen is. He will lower that shoulder and go for that first down.
And that brings us number 3.
And this could be the Patriots' next quarterback. I think it's
LSU,
Jadon Daniels,
Jadon Daniels,
the Heisman, our current Heisman. How do you feel about Jadon? Since you are a Patriots fan, so this could be a quarterback you guys could have on your roster.
I'm excited. I like watching him play, and he's done a lot of good things in LSU. And he did deserve that Heisman. I didn't think anyone else did. I mean, he had a really great season. In
He had
LSU.
50 touchdowns. That's insane.
Outstanding in LSU.
Yes.
And I feel like carrying into the NFL, he's going to dominate.
Yeah.
I feel like for the Patriots, I mean, yeah, they're struggling right now, not just in QB wise, but I feel like again, Jadon Daniels could help us potentially get back up in that wild card spot.
It helps your pass game, but also helps your run game, because the one thing the Patriots lacked was a lot of just speed and burst. Not a lot of players in the offense showed those bursts that those other teams have, and I think Jadon Daniels, as good as his thrower he is, his running ability is another thing that adds him, and I think his first day in the NFL, he'll be a top 3 running quarterback because of how dynamic he is. I think he's a top 3 rushing quarterback his first day in the NFL because he's had multiple games with 200 rushing yards. He had 1,000 rushing yards in the season. I think he can really do it all, and he's really the wild card of the draft.
So being after Jadon Daniels, who do we have at number 4?
Michael Penix. Penix is the only left-handed quarterback of this draft, and he had a crazy season for Washington. And no one really expected Washington to be in the playoffs. Maybe they could be a ranked team, but no one expected him to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
And him and Rodame, I can't really say his name, Owunze.
Yeah.
They had a crazy special connection this season.
They really snuck in. I mean, Michael Penix is the big reason why Washington was in that playoff.
Yeah, he really carried that team. I mean, they had a great defense, but he was the one leading that team to those crazy victories, with his arm.
And our last QB in this top 5.
Top 5.
What do we got? Last one.
Well, we'll go with J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
We'll go with J.J. McCarthy. I'm not the biggest fan of J.J. McCarthy myself.
Yeah.
I think most of the teams, those games they were winning was despite of him, honestly. It was those defenses in the run game that really carried them to those wins. And we'll see how he is, I think he's a great kid. He's winning background. He hasn't lost a lot of games, so we'll see how his game translates to the NFL.
All right, and that's our top 5. And let us know what you guys think, how your rankings are.
Yeah, for sure. I want to see who you guys' top quarterbacks are.
That's it from us.
Welcome back, guys. I mean, that's a great top 5 list. I mean, it's a stacked draft class. We got Caleb Williams, of course, Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, who may make some noises, maybe a backup quarterback,
Jadon
but
Daniels, the Heisman.
yeah, for sure. Just an absolutely stacked draft class. And let's talk about the team that gets the first pick, the Bears. What do we think they're going to do with that?
They're not going to replace Justin Fields. They want him.
You don't
I
think
don't
so?
know.
I don't think so.
Right now, all we're seeing is that Caleb Williams is probably going to be a Bear.
Yeah.
So far, that's all we've seen.
I mean, that whole drama with Justin Fields unfollowing them, I don't know if that – he said he doesn't want football, like, on his timeline.
I don't think that mean anything.
No.
I think
Yeah,
it's
that-
kind of weird that people follow athletes
Exactly.
on who they follow.
That is,
like,
yeah.
That's
kinda
Like
weird to me.
scrolling through their following
Yeah,
list
Yeah,
for
like,
no
how-
reason.
really looking
How
that
do you
up.
just know they just unfollowed someone? Like, how addicted are you to them?
They looked at the Bears
Like, they have a
following.
life outside of football,
They're missing
guys.
one follower.
Do we think that the Bears could pick, like, maybe the scenario that the Bears stay with Fields, like, he's shown them that he can win games, and build around him, like, maybe get a Marvin Harrison Jr.? Like, would that be an interesting move?
Oh, yeah, that'd be a crazy move for them because imagine having to, as a defense, having to account for DJ Moore and Marvin Harrison.
That would be crazy.
That'd be so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be,
Lethal weapons.
It'd be such a hard task for a defense to figure that out.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you add Fields' running ability and his dynamic. I think that could be honestly really scary.
It's
to do
about
that.
for Bears fans have suffered too long, and I say it's about time that they get a pretty decent team out there.
For once.
Yeah, for once. Get
In
a
the past, like, 3 decades.
Yeah, I mean, but let's move it on to the NBA. Like, things are going crazy. Jordan Poole was benched on a team that's won 9 games. Like, for that amount of money they gave him, getting benched, that's
Depressing.
He
the
has the worst
opposite of
It's
what they want.
depressing.
He has the worst contract in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not,
for sure.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
He's basically on a max contract, and he doesn't.
Just sit on the bench and do
and he-
nothing. On a
he's
team
supposed
that
to be-
already sucks.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a scorer, and he can't even score right now. And we've known his whole career he's had bad defense.
Yeah.
So you can't be an inefficient scorer and a bad defender. It's just like you can't play that person on the floor.
Yeah.
It's just embarrassing. I mean, people were hyping him up so much for like a year or two on the Warriors, and then he gets traded where he's now the first option, and
I mean,
absolutely nothing.
his fallout does need to be documented
Yeah.
because like he literally was one
This
of the
is the
biggest
last
reasons-
dance.
He was one of the biggest
level.
reasons they won that championship.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was averaging like 20. He gave them the sparks off the bench. He was
Yeah.
providing the. He was playing up to the reason why he got that contract.
Oh, for sure.
But
Yeah.
ever since then, he just like he forgot how to play the game of basketball. It's weird.
I feel like the
And
Wizards
he's so young, so it's like how
Yeah.
can he get worse at 24 years old?
the Wizards weren't built very well. Like Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole seem to be people are fond of running the show, you know, and both of them working together obviously
It
has
just
proved
doesn't.
9 wins. What are they? 9 and 46.
9 and 46,
Like
yeah.
that is definitely. They may have like not had any expectations of like winning like the championship, but maybe they could have been a play-in team.
Right,
Maybe we
maybe.
thought.
Yeah.
Definitely not low feeders in the bottom of their conference. Like that is pretty brutal. But I mean,
And they lost last night to the Nuggets. The Bulls lost last night to the Celtics.
yeah, that was a tough game. I mean, the Celtics are absolute juggernauts.
Who do we think like
Absolutely.
post
crazy.
All-Star break? Who do you think? Who do we got in the finals? Who do
You,
we think
you'd
you-
be wrong. I don't know.
This- It's hard not to say the
Yeah.
Celtics, but Jimmy Butler turns into prime MJ come playoff time.
Until he
so-
reaches the finals.
Yeah,
And then he just
exactly.
wants to sell coffee.
Yeah, but I mean, I would say the Celtics could be in there, and maybe the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the Thunder. I was gonna say the Thunder.
Yeah.
Like even though they have no experience really in the playoffs,
Yeah,
which
very young
which
team.
could come back to bite them.
But they're so fun to
They're
watch.
gonna have the most energy out of any team. They run down the court like the Thunder team is just so fun to watch, and I would love to see that team make a run.
Yeah.
Or-
Even just like,
But the
I want to
West-
see them just make it past the first round at least.
Yeah.
And they definitely have a chance too. They have a
Even-
very stacked
yeah.
team.
Like even if they get past the first round, I do think that's a success for them.
Oh yeah.
Because even
Yeah.
this season so far is a success.
And they get as
No
far as
matter how
Westbrook and
good we
KD.
thought they were gonna be, I don't think we thought they were gonna be this good. Top 3
Yeah.
seed in the
No, yeah.
West. that is
SGA
still-
being an MVP
yeah.
candidate
Yeah.
as well.
And I mean, they have so many young guys that they could maybe kind of get out in the playoffs early
They just
based
added
on
Gordon Hayward. They
yeah,
traded for Gordon
yeah,
Hayward.
based on a lack of experience, and then run it back next year. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Like they're only gonna get better.
Hayward's that vet that they might need
yeah,
to,
the
to make
locker
the
room
push.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
He's like 35 now.
Yeah.
We-
After with Chris Paul.
yeah, we also got some baseball yesterday that started up. The
Yep.
Dodgers, the absolute super team that they are, and we got spring training games going on, and there's just
Sox versus Cubs today.
yeah,
Go
that'll
Sox.
be a good game.
Good
That'll
game,
be a
good
good
game.
game. Yeah. And I mean, there's so much going on, but we could talk about forever. But unfortunately, we have to go to an ad, and then we'll come back with Patrick with his cereal box.
The all-new PC3 Media website is now up and running. Visit PC3Media.com on the World Wide Web and get updates on our latest live stream broadcasts.
I love sports ball. Yay!
View our Friday show archives.
I'm in this. I like this. That's the one
Check out our latest newscasts.
News? They've got news on here? I love the news. What they got going on today?
View our class rosters and stream PC3 Radio online 24 hours a day.
The radio, it's like candy for my ears.
Don't miss out on the best student-run media group in Northwest Indiana. Visit PC3Media.com today.
Welcome back, guys, and we have a friend of ours from the marketing class, Patrick. How you doing today, dude?
Pretty good, you?
I'm pretty good, thank you. So we're gonna ask you a few questions about your cereal box. What was basically the process of making it?
So I was kind of stuck on one idea for a while, thinking of wanting to make something retro, and I was sitting in my room the night before it was due, and I was listening to some music, and Key Glock came on, and I was like, you know what, I think he'd be the perfect candidate for being on a cereal box.
That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about the box? Like, what do you think makes it so
I just
visually
think like
appealing?
the golden tan.
Oh yeah,
It
it's a great
pops.
colorway. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a pretty reliable colorway to go on it.
Yeah, I really like the
Solid.
cereal box.
Yeah,
'cause I love Key Glock. Key
Yeah.
Glock's one of my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah. Me too.
He's one of my favorite rappers to
If
listen to.
you don't mind if I touch, he looks so friendly on the box too. Like he's
Yeah.
looking up at the cereal. Like
He's looking up, he's like wanting you to buy it.
exactly, yeah. And you got a maze in the back right here. Yeah, it's if there was one thing that maybe you could change, if you could redo it over again, what would it be?
I think I would have a more depth to the box.
I
Maybe
get
a little more interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interactive features.
Maybe if you got like
more
like,
time.
More time, exactly. Yeah.
What do you think the most stressful part of making the box was?
Being 2 hours before the deadline.
Yeah, that
I
would
get
be
that. I feel that.
Yeah. And more
procrastinating.
trying to not make it look fake.
Yeah,
I
Make
get
it
you.
something that looks real, like you could see it on the shelf.
Yes.
and make sure like you actually put effort
Yeah.
into it.
It still looks
it's-
really good though. Like
yeah.
I would
Thank
buy
you.
that
For
for
2
sure.
hours,
Yeah, me too.
like right.
Put it on the shelf, it looks different from everything else.
Yeah.
Move it. Speaking of which, you're in the marketing class. Can you talk about like some of your favorite parts of that? Like, what do you like about it?
I think the thing I like the most is we get creative freedom. We can do whatever we want. There's nothing really holding us back from doing what we want in the projects.
Nice.
And there's no tests or quizzes, so it's just kind of projects. We don't have to really worry about anything else.
It's always good when you don't have
Yeah.
tests that you have to worry about.
We
you
can
know?
focus on our projects and
Yeah,
make
that's-
them as good as they can be.
That's super cool. And you got a cool teacher, Swinford. I think
Yeah.
he's
Oh,
a
yeah.
pretty cool guy.
He's great.
I mean, we got cool teachers here too, so it makes it really easy.
I think
to
all
have,
the
like, a
teachers at the
hands-on-
Career Center
Oh,
are
yeah.
pretty cool.
It's a
Yeah.
much chiller vibe here, it seems,
Oh, yeah.
overall. But is there anything else you would like to say about it? Anything you'd like to promote?
Do the marketing class.
Yeah, honestly, if any younger people are watching this, the marketing class is a very fun thing to do, along with self-promotion here, but the radio and TV class is very nice too. So thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us,
of course.
Patrick. We're going to cut it to an ad, and then we'll be right back.
It's that time of year again where you get to apply to vocationals. So I'm here to show you what we do.
We are the radio broadcasting vocation, which means we do sports broadcasting. And there he goes! Skits on our Friday show.
Why so serious?
And my personal favorite, live production.
If we grab your interest with all the awesome things we do here, then contact your guidance counselor to enroll. Or use the email on the screen to contact our class instructors.
Hey you, on that couch there. Huh? Are you tired of watching some boring old shows such as The Office?
Yeah, obviously.
Well then do I have something for you. It's The Friday Show.
The Friday Show?
That's right. The Friday Show has tons of episodes and things for you to watch.
Like what?
Well, we got reviews, skits, holiday specials, and many more.
Holy moly!
And check out this honest review about the show.
Man, this is the best show I've ever seen since 2008. This show is just so good. I bought a whole box of popcorn just to watch the show.
That's actually pretty cool. Where can I find it? It's on YouTube right now. Just look up PC3 Media on YouTube and you'll find it right there.
Welcome back, guys. It's always great to hear from some fellow classmates here at the Career Center, and really cool to see what the marketing class is up to. But we're
I'm
gonna
back.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna move it to sports and our All-Star Weekend. What are your guys' main thoughts? I mean, lots of disappointments, some cool things, but there's some disappointing parts of it too.
Disappointing.
It's like the same problems we have every year.
Exactly, yeah. The dunk contest, I mean, I saw someone make a good point that we've seen all the dunks that can be done.
Pretty
really.
much,
Like,
yeah.
If
We were discussing this in class the other day, whether or not they should like come up with something else.
Yeah, like
anything else.
A 1v1 thing, that would be kind of cool.
1v1 would be
There's only
sick.
so much you can do, and then even players don't even want to do it either. So you can't even get the best dunkers in,
Right.
and then you're picking up the players that accept it, and they're not even doing like
Right.
the
Yeah.
dunks we've already seen.
Yeah, in the All-Star game, I mean, it was cool to see people scoring like 40 points with like a bunch of three-pointers.
Yeah, it was like the first time like the All-Star game has made it to 200 points.
200 points in a
It was
game
like
is
the
absurd.
first time of all time.
And you see that one shot Luka made? He's from beyond half court. He throws the ball up randomly. I don't know if it was an alley-oop, but it looked like him and Jokic didn't really even care. So
Yeah, him and Jokic were not trying. They do not care about the All-Star.
Neither of them even. I don't think either of them try ever.
No,
They're
no.
both just waltzing
I mean,
around the court
no,
scoring 40.
It's their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. They clock in and then score and then get their paycheck and go
Yeah,
home.
Damian Lillard win another 3-point contest.
Oh, man. He's a bucket.
He's
He's really good.
Also, Steph just beat Sabrina in the three-point
yeah.
contest.
She did beat Sabrina.
She did
There was
well,
beef.
though.
Sabrina
She did do
did.
well, yeah.
She did.
But Curry was cooking.
She held her own. Yeah,
Yeah.
Curry, when he
Chef.
gets into a rhythm, he can
you're done.
beat anyone. Yeah.
That's a game changer.
But I mean, you heard our opinions about the All-Star break, kind of neutral on it, but let's hear what Caden thinks and cut it to his opinions on the All-Star break.
What's good is Caden, and back with everything but the news. Even though the NFL season ended with the Chiefs beating the 49ers, there's been so much sports news that's still been going on, luckily. And recently, there's been the All-Star game, the whole NBA All-Star weekend, matter of fact, starting out with the dunk contest, with the last two contestants, Jaylen Brown versus Mac McClung. Jaylen Brown, an NBA player, versus Mac McClung, a G League player, a part-time G League player at that. You know, he also works at Canes, which is pretty interesting. Like, after after he won, it's like everybody who comes up and buys something from Canes sees him, like, recognizes, like, didn't you just win the dunk contest in the NBA? You feel me? That's pretty interesting. Like, data have, and you feel me? He beat Jaylen Brown, who mostly gets teased for not being able to like dribble or being as dominant with his left hand. So Jaylen Brown, he dunked Mike Jack with his left hand for the last dunk, and to top that, Mac McClung does a dunk over Shaq. So that was pretty interesting. And next was the three-point contest, but this is a different three-point contest. This is like the first time that there's been a three-point contest or three-point challenge that hasn't been just NBA players. This is getting interesting with the All-Star weekends that the NBA is having. This time a WNBA player, Sabrina Ionescu, challenged Stephen Curry to a three-point contest. And Sabrina actually did pretty good, because lately, like weeks before, there was a lot of highlights from her where she was shooting from really deep and hitting those shots. And later she challenged Stephen Curry and she dropped 26, Stephen with 29, still beating her, the greatest shooter in the world to ever live. So I'm not surprised, but she did really good. Shout out to Sabrina. That was some of the All-Star, other than that, the celebrity game where the NFL players were dropping almost 40 points and
Team Shannon on an extended 20-9 run. Well, Monaco was about to give out some hardware, then they decided to continue playing basketball. Parsons, all right, Monaco gonna run out there.
All-Star Celebrity Game MVP. And this year's winner is Micah Parsons.
That was also crazy. So stay tuned for more. See y'all later.
Welcome back, guys. That was a great segment from Caden. Got to hear his opinions on the All-Star break. I mean, it was an interesting weekend, and I'm personally glad basketball's back because about little over a week without basketball, it's hard. It's kind of hard.
It was in Indiana though. It was in our.
Yeah. I mean,
you were representing the All-Stars at least.
Yeah, but speaking of great games, we have a big week of PC3 games coming
Next
up.
week.
I mean,
We're gonna be busy.
Tuesday, Friday,
Sectionals.
Saturday, some sectional games.
Got some playoff basketball basically.
Oh, for sure. Great playoff Indiana basketball with teams like Couts, DeMont Christian. Just some amazing games.
Very prestigious teams.
Oh yeah. We're gonna see you there, Jaden. Right?
Oh, you'll be there too.
Jaden, yeah.
But of course I'll be there. One and only.
And I mean, to end it off in some fun, we're gonna have some Would You Rather after that too. But let's just get right into the Would You Rather. You want to start us off by asking Jaden?
I'll be asking the questions. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. First up, would you rather have all traffic lights that you approach be green or never have to stand in a line again?
I would go traffic lights be like green.
Yeah. I think that's way more convenient.
No, I would say never stand in a line.
Okay.
I mean, there's so much ways you could use both, but like, I don't know.
The lunch line?
Imagine
you
like
go crazy.
Yeah.
Going to a big event. And
You just
then,
have a fast
like,
pass for school.
Yeah.
That may, like if I need to get into
Either way, you're saving yourself time.
like if we're in like clubs and like there's like a disco show going on, like and I need to get, I may have to change mine honestly because lines. Like green lights can be super quick because you can strategize them. You can like go super slow and let it change.
Like
or like if you're going to like a wrestling match and you want to see John Cena.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to wait in line for some chocolate?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would say not stand in line again. That's much more of an inconvenience. I would say.
All right. Would you rather wrestle a bear or an alligator?
Gotta be alligator. A bear.
Really?
I mean, a bear? I don't think we know what we're talking. A bear?
Okay, what type of bear though? This is an important. If it's a polar bear, I'm losing.
A polar bear, a grizzly bear, it could pick me up and put like my head in its mouth and bite it clean off. And if I try to run away from it,
if it's a black bear, I can handle a black bear.
Your head off. Like what?
If you get your arm trapped in an alligator, like they just rip it off. Yeah, you're cooked.
I don't think alligators, they may be fast, but honestly, I think I could probably get away from them
it's just
easier
running a
than
zigzag.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that is true. Like, if a bear gets.
But you're not running away, you're wrestling it.
Yeah, if we're talking
you
about.
think you could take down a puma?
Yeah, no, not a puma. Pumas are fast.
Yeah.
But I mean.
Mountain lion?
Dude, honestly, if I'm wrestling with any type of animal like that, I'm probably just calling it quits.
Yeah.
Like if I can, I'm taking out my phone, calling my parents, saying
say goodbye.
It's been good, thank you, and I am wrestling a bear.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're just cooked at that point.
I mean, it's a pretty cool way to die, though.
I mean,
you tried wrestling a bear. I mean, I saw this one.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
Cool thing your kids can talk about. Like, my dad died to a bear.
But I mean, there's this one movie called The Gray where a guy dies wrestling this
movie,
like wolf. Yeah. And I mean, but it's a lose-lose situation, you know. But what's up next?
Yeah. Speaking of animals, would you rather be able to talk to all animals or speak all languages, like foreign languages?
You talk with animals.
Talking with animals would be fire. Like your dogs, like you just know what your dog wants.
Yeah.
Yes. Like that would be so cool.
The only downside is I feel like it may get annoying after a while because like an animal may not like shut up.
Yeah, it's like that one movie. It's like What Women Think. Or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that just might create a problem, honestly.
Yeah.
But if I was to speak all foreign languages, that would be.
You could go wherever.
I could go wherever, speak with them, communicate, and maybe if I'm in some trouble, I could like get out of it by like.
True, because you know what you're saying.
Yeah, by taking down the situation if they get mad and just kind of relaxing it. And it's honestly cool. Like, it could be a cool thing to like pick up ladies. Like, I say, "Will you date me?" In
What's
like,
the hottest
foreign
language? And then you just start speaking it.
Probably French.
I wasn't asking you. That's what you would ask the girls. Yeah. All right. Next up, would you rather meet George Washington or the current president?
Definitely George Washington.
Wasn't he like 6'8"?
I feel like
Dude, he was
I
massive.
feel like George Washington.
He had, like,
would tell
wooden
me some
teeth, too.
crazy things. Bro.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like some crazy
yeah.
things.
The only thing I would worry about is maybe he smells bad, and
He probably does
the
smell
myth
bad.
about his teeth, about how
Yeah,
they're
but
like
they're wooden.
wood. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it would be so cool to hear like
He
what
probably
his
picks
thing
his
is.
teeth with a cherry tree.
Yeah. And I would show him like music from today. Like,
Yeah.
do you think he would get like a heart attack if we showed him like music from
funk?
today?
Like funk? Yeah, I think so.
I feel like he would like it. Like put on some
think he would
Playboy
not?
Cardi for some George Washington.
If we showed Playboy Cardi to George Washington when he was in his
I
prime,
think he'd have a seizure.
honestly, like, how do
I
you
think
think
he'd
the
like
world
it.
would change though?
Are we
Like,
showing him a Cardi concert or just the song?
Just a song.
Okay, then he'll be all right.
we take him to a Cardi concert.
Yeah, take him to a Cardi
take him
concert.
to
See
a
how he
Cardi
handles it. All right, next one. Oh, wait. Anything else to add, Misa?
No,
Okay.
I think it'd be George Washington.
Yeah,
Since we're changing seasons right now, would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too cold for sure.
Too cold, absolutely. I hate being sweaty.
I think it's much easier to get warmer than it is to get colder.
People who say they like summer are they're sociopaths.
I mean, the only thing is
I mean, I like
obviously.
summer.
I hate summer.
Honestly, when it gets past like 80 degrees, it's
Yeah,
too
it's
much.
ridiculous.
It's too much for me.
God can turn on the AC.
These people in like Texas, my dad's from Arizona, and he said
Oh,
the
that's
hottest
awful.
it's ever been is like 112, and they couldn't even go outside.
I think it's gotten hotter there.
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I saw like last year was like 120 or something.
That's brutal.
Like literally.
Like if you
That's
fell
literally-
on the concrete, like you melted to it.
Like
or
that's
something.
literally torture.
That's insane. I don't know how people do that.
That sounds brutal. I would be too cold because you could put layers on, you could take layers
Right,
off
right,
if
right.
you're too warm in the
But you
cold.
can't take that many off.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if we have 40 degrees outside and
Yeah.
it's slightly cloudy, I think that's perfect weather for me at least.
Yeah. When you're too warm, it like makes you like angry too.
Yeah, it makes me
Like,
mad. I just
yeah,
wanna
it
start
makes you
throwing
aggravated.
haymakers.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing good about it.
All right, last one. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or fly through the air?
This one's the toughest one.
Fly for sure, I think.
I'm saying fly.
Because like if I can fly, like maybe I'll eat a couple bugs, but like if I
Yeah.
can breathe underwater, like if I'm trying to travel,
Yeah.
I mean,
like Aquaman, trying to travel to France for free.
it's just two great things, but honestly, it would be fly for me.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
fly, you can do way
It's
more
just
things.
convenient, yeah.
Yeah, you can
Breathing
like.
underwater.
It
is
doesn't
just
say you
one
have
thing.
wings. It's like
Yeah.
Superman, I think.
Yeah.
You just like levitate.
I mean, also going back to like getting a girlfriend. If you
Oh, right,
tell
right,
her
right.
and you say
I can
like,
fly you to Paris.
I can fly.
Take you to the
like
moon.
honestly, she would probably want you to
Dude,
propose
she'd
on
fall
the
for you
spot.
immediately.
I think so, maybe. Yeah.
Either that or she'd
Yeah.
be
She'd probably say,
super
"Prove it,"
scared.
probably.
Yeah.
She'd be
First.
like, how are you flying and why?
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
And why? Yeah, why are you the chosen one?
But I mean, I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. So I mean, just drop it in the comments below. So we're going to move on to an ad break and then come back with some music discussions.
Hi, I'm Tina, and I own the Spice and Tea Exchange of Valparaiso in downtown. We've been here a little over 2 years, so we offer a variety of things. We have over 70 custom spice blends that make cooking easy for you. We have infused salts and sugars. We have a pepper wall. We have over 70 loose leaf teas. Spice balls behind us. So we have everything to make your meals a little bit more flavorful. So I think we have a lot to offer with the variety that we have. Loose leaf tea primarily has a little bit more flavor than your tea bag that you might be used to. So we have a full line of accessories. We have candles, we've got your tea infusers, we have travel mugs, we have your matcha needs, we've got spice grinders, everything that you need to outfit your kitchen.
Welcome back. We had a lot of sports discussions, so let's move on to another form of entertainment. Let's talk about some music. So, honestly, are you guys listening to like some, I call it summer albums, like warmer, like
No.
Frank Ocean type stuff? Like,
Actually, I do listen to some Frank Ocean.
yeah, it's been raining a lot, so I've been listening to
Yeet?
like, the new Yeet album, honestly.
Yeah.
The new Kanye album.
I liked the
I
new
thought
Kanye album.
it was good, and
Yeah.
all the drama about it getting like taken off, like different songs getting taken off of streaming services.
Yeah.
And he's still like on the top of the charts. It's honestly, even if you don't like him, that's pretty
Yeah. It's
impressive.
It's like you can only access it by Venmoing him $100.
Yeah, I know.
He's
Yeah.
trying to make it as inconvenient as possible.
But I mean, it's kind of cool that as merchandise, I've heard these shows is pretty cheap. Like for him, I know you
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
You said it wasn't super expensive.
No, it
and
wasn't.
That's cool.
And he made like the merch like $20 at the shirts were $20, so he kept it cheap and affordable for the merchandise too, which was nice.
That's awesome. And this Friday, speaking of which, we got some new albums that came out. Yeah, we have some new singles that came out. So, I mean, I'm eager to go listen to that and start off my weekend. But let's move on to what Aiden has to feel about music, our good friend Aiden.
Take it away, buddy.
Alright guys, what's going on? It's Aiden here, back with another episode of The Spot. Today's going to be kind of a shorter episode, but I just wanted to go over the rise and fall of rappers. Now, as unfortunate as it is, rap has kind of turned out to be a bit of a fickle industry in the way that if you tend to play into trends or a certain sound that's more of a trendy type and you don't want to evolve with your music, you tend to fall off with it. So this video is going to be going over the background of about the past 10 years and rappers that have fallen off then, and my predictions about rappers that are next to fall off.
Raindrop, opening my locker. Take 2.
So starting at around the early 2010s, what we were seeing was a lot of come up of the hype era of rappers. So you had artists like Waka Flocka Flame, Gucci Mane, Trinidad James, Rich Homie Quan. They all kind of had, I wouldn't say the same sound, but fell into about the same category. They almost all had the same come up and same fall off, being that they came up around the rise of the internet rap era. So pioneering that genre would be Soulja Boy, for better or for worse. Everybody has their own opinion. And using the internet to their advantage to promote their music for free for anybody to listen to. Unfortunately, this was still during the time when the idea of getting signed to a label was this idea of, you're gonna make it, you've made it, you're signed to a label now, oh my god, you've made it, you're hot. Which in some areas, yes, is true, however, doesn't define your success as being guaranteed. It's still on you to be it's still on you to make hits, and it's still on you to evolve with your fans or to move away from your fans to find a different fan base. And so while I feel like a lot of these rappers are still maybe well off, or at least, you know, able to support themselves, unlike the previous era, the bling era, where a lot of those rappers tended to fall off hard and even end up in bankruptcy in some areas. You don't tend to hear a lot from Flocka, Trinidad James, Ace Hood, Rich Homie Quan. None of them are on the radio anymore, unfortunately. And so how I want to correlate this into the new era is that there's about 3 big-ish subgenres that we've got right now. You've got the mainstream, which is Drake, 21 Savage, Travis Scott, Lil Baby, Durk, Lil Uzi Vert. Big names right now, right? So you take a look at the mainstream and you kind of realize that the big names kind of, once you get there in the mainstream, you tend to stay there, whether by choice or whether by money, power in, say, fan base, or some other odd way of getting grandfathered in. And my point being that the mainstream seems to have the most straightforward way of being in the game and not getting cut out of the loop, at least for a long time. Rappers that were in the underground a few years ago, like Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, a lot of the Opium group, are now finding their ways into levels of mainstream success, and by that, hopefully keeping their way in the mainstream. However, there are still lots of rappers in the underground currently that are attaining mainstream level success, maybe not being played on the radio, but famous on the internet, such as Xavier Sobase, Netspend, Osa Mason, Yapo JJ, and all these underground rappers that they're so new. However, we seem to be phasing them out as fast as they come in. So what does this all mean? Why am I saying all this? Well, I wanted to kind of pre-preface that as to making my predictions as who's going to be up and who's going to be falling off in 2024. I've got a feeling that a lot of these underground rappers right now who are in the kind of unknown internet type scene will be getting a lot of popularity because of social media. Not that they already haven't, but even more to come in 2024. And so while these mainstream rappers are going to keep their relevance, I feel like the overall scene of the rap industry is going to be more catered towards the younger, on the internet type sound, and more of a odd and obscure-ish type sound as to how some of the more classic Drake, 21 Savage type artists will be favored. This is Aiden from The Spot. Have a good day.
What a segment, and welcome back. And before we get off, let's just talk about what you guys will be doing for this weekend. I'll start off with you, Anthony.
Yeah.
What do you think you're doing?
I'll probably just eat a Big Mac. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a Big Mac.
Little double Big Mac action.
I mean, I think
You were eating some
McDonald's
nuggies
came out
earlier,
with
Yeah, the
their-
double Big Mac.
Yeah, but
What about you?
How about you?
I'm gonna be working on my vertical.
Your
You know those old
vertical leap?
commercials where they slap the sticky note higher and higher each time?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just
Are
gonna be
you-
slapping sticky notes.
Honestly, like I see these NBA players with like their verticals.
Like Shaden Sharp.
They're like
Yeah.
as tall as me.
50-inch.
Yeah, but personally, me, I won't be doing anything super entertaining. I mean, I'm gonna work tomorrow and Saturday, but Sunday I'm free, so maybe I'll just go in my backyard. Sometimes I like to sit down there.
That's a good
in my
story.
trees with like binoculars
Yeah.
and sit there and watch
Go bird watching.
bird watching,
Enjoy
deer
the nature.
watching.
Just
Honestly,
watch.
Just gotta soak it in.
Yeah.
it's beautiful, but as the weather's getting nicer out, I mean, there's so much that you can do. I mean,
the birds
maybe
are
I'll,
back.
maybe I'll wear some shorts. Maybe I'll go sun tanning. Never mind, not that
There's
far.
some swans in my lake.
Yeah, honestly. But before we sign off, I want to give you guys some big dates
Little
coming up.
rundown.
Yeah, a little rundown on the games that we will have broadcast on here. Our game 1 Tuesday will be at 6 p.m. It's going to be Hammond Academy of Science versus DeMont Christian. Then our second game of the doubleheader on that same Tuesday, that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. It's going to be Couts versus Washington Township. And then game 3 on Friday will be the winner of the Tri-Township versus Hammond/DeMont winner. And then our game 4 on Friday will be Morgan Township versus the Couts versus Washington Township winner. And just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, the championship is at 7 p.m. and all games will be streaming live on IHSAATV.org. And it's going to be produced by the PC3 staff with commentary coming from yours truly, Jadon, me, and Ethan. So
The
make
Lockster.
sure you guys tune in. You definitely do not want to miss it. It's going to be some great games, and it's going to be a long week, but it's going to be really
Oh, yeah.
fun.
But it's gonna be busy.
It'll be
Very
really fun.
crazy, bro.
So you guys have a
Crazy.
great weekend, and thank you for stepping in, Jadon, and
Of
another
course.
good show.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Excuse me. Have a great weekend.
I'll see you Tuesday.
Yeah, he won't.